Tell us
Yeah.
something about the Hubble Space Telescope, how advanced it is, and what are its great specialities.
So the Hubble Space Telescope is
Yeah,
named after Edwin Hubble,
yeah,
who was an famous astronomer from 100 years ago. But Hubble is a satellite. It's orbiting the Earth,
yeah.
and it's been orbiting the Earth since it was launched way back in 1990. So it's been working for almost 35 years, and yet it's still doing very cutting edge science. And the reason for that is that it's a very good telescope. And also we have upgraded it several times over the years by sending astronaut missions up to Hubble. So Hubble is a telescope that sees the visible light like our eyes can see, but much better than our eyes can see. And also it sees some light that our eyes cannot see. It sees ultraviolet light, which is a little bit more energetic than blue light. And it also sees a little bit of into the infrared part of the light spectrum, which is a little bit redder than red. And so because we have all of these colors covered with Hubble, and we are able to see with such precision, we really learn a lot more about the universe than we could from the ground. The reason we put a telescope in space is not to get the telescope closer to what we're looking at, but to get it above the clouds, above our atmosphere. And that gives us a clearer view of whatever we want to learn about in space.
That's a crazy one. Is there any those type of image that moved you most about that from that Hubble Space Telescope?
Oh, there are so many things from the Hubble that I am amazed by. We see a lot of activity in our own solar system. So things like, the planets Jupiter and Saturn and so forth, they're actually changing. And because we've had Hubble operating for decades, we're able to see, as we look over and over again, we're able to see some of the atmospheric changes in those planets. We're able to learn some things about their moons, which are very interesting places. And we do that in cooperation with actual robotic probes that are being sent to those planetary systems. So Hubble sees the big picture, and then the probes kind of takes measurements closer in. But we're also learning things beyond our solar system. So we're learning about other stars other than our sun,
Beyond that.
and how they are continuing to form. My own specialty is studying star formation and how stars are continuing to form out of all of the gas that fills our Milky Way galaxy. If you get a little pocket of gas that's dense enough, it'll collapse under its own gravitational pull. And that pressure causes a reaction called fusion, which creates starlight. So we're learning about star formation, but we're also learning that other stars have planets. All right. So way back when I was in university, we didn't know of any planets orbiting stars other than our sun. Now, in recent years, other types of telescopes have discovered thousands of them, and Hubble does follow-up work. So if there's a new exoplanet system, that's what these are called, planets outside our solar system. If we discover an exoplanet system, telescopes like Hubble and also the new Webb Space Telescope can follow up and do more detailed analysis of the atmospheric composition. What's in the atmospheres of these exoplanets. And eventually, in the future, we want newer telescopes that can actually tell us if there are signs in the atmosphere of some of these smaller planets of maybe biological activity. Wouldn't that be exciting? We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. So Hubble is helping us learn about exoplanets, stars, and then other galaxies. So our own Milky Way galaxy has hundreds of billions of stars, including our sun. But now we know there are hundreds of billions of other galaxies, each of them having their own hundreds of billions of stars. And maybe all those stars have planets too. Our telescopes are like a time machine, because everything we look at, we're seeing it as it was when the light began its trek to us. So we're looking back in time. The farther we look at objects, the more we're looking at things as they were farther back in time. So, one thing that moves me is kind of looking at more distant galaxies with the Hubble telescope and the more nearby ones and seeing how they're different. And that gives us a clue as to how galaxies have grown and matured over the billions of years of history of the universe.